Hello everyone and welcome to Gamer Reality. In this video, I want to showcase the 5 best games from the Global Game Jam 2021. What is a Game Jam, you may be asking? It is a yearly event where developers, designers, and artists come together working solo or on teams to create a game from scratch based on the year's theme in a short amount of time. Global Game Jam is the biggest game jam in the world and happens at the end of January every year. The theme is told to us at the start of the event, and we get 48 hours to make the best game we can before the upload deadline. This year's theme was Lost and Found, and we knew it a couple of days early so that we can get set up in the new online format better. Let me be clear though, VR was a small category. This is normally a pancake screen gaming convention that includes some other categories. However, this year we saw more VR games than ever, most likely because of the release of the new cheap Quest 2, as well as a ton of great tutorials and new technologies that help us small creators prototype even faster. This year there were 28,000 game creators from 104 countries that made over 6,000 games. 54 of them were VR submissions. All of them are available to play for free, and joining next year's Game Jam is free because they have a ton of sponsors. The link to all this will be in the description. Anyways, enough explaining, let's get on with our list. Lost and Found VR. This is a game where you run around a warehouse full of random stuff and serve clients at the counter. This is a surprisingly more common theme than I would have thought for this year's theme, but maybe it was because in VR you can move and grab objects better. Anyways, I liked this game because of the variety of objects, the pressure for time, the reward of getting more time for fulfilling orders, and the ability to knock everything over and make a huge mess at the end of the shift. The things that could have used some improvement were the art style and user feedback, as I didn't know there was a timer or that the game was over until I happened to look over after my first run. The next game on the list is Hands Off. I want to start off by saying that this is a game that I felt like I would have made for a game jam. It's simple with a twist, the graphics are realistic, and it's physics-based. It's a little creepy at first, and I wish that the 3D scan was a little higher resolution, but at least they didn't do too much work in the art designing department. I really enjoy the level design as each arm has their own challenges to get through. Something they could have improved on was the user interface. The text was locked to the screen, and sometimes 2 messages appeared at once. I would have also liked to know that clicking the trigger while playing makes the hands grab onto objects. Pens and Bottles makes my third spot. It's another game where the player works at a Lost and Found, but there are more mechanics involved. Sometimes the people will come into the office to give you an item that may be used later, which lets you play the game longer. The surrounding art is clean and uses bright colors which are easy to see. Once I got my room space set up, it was enjoyable walking to get the object and hand it to the next person in line. Also, it was a good challenge when a lot of clients came in after I played for a few minutes because I didn't know when the game would end. However, I do see this big play space as a flaw in the design. I don't know if all the designers had 5 by 10 foot play spaces, but that's too much to ask for most people. Moving the shelves together or adding locomotion would have been nice. Also, sometimes they would ask for things I didn't have, and it was annoying to see them get annoyed. Number 2 on the list is Chill Beats to Beachcomb 2. This game had me playing the longest and went well with the theme of the game jam. It also brought a really unique element that I don't think I've seen in any VR game so far, which is a land deformation tool. I thought I would get a shovel to beachcomb with, but instead you use this water gun to carve out spots in the sand. The island is decently sized, and there are plenty of objects that you need to find to finish. The music is nice, and the art and special effects all come together to form a very nice scene. One thing I would have liked to see was better objects to find. The reason I didn't look for all the objects because there were a bit too many, and half of them were plastic utensils that I got less than 50 cents for. Let me live my searching fantasy of finding golden objects or maybe a GoPro buried under the sand. Number 1 on my list is Ghost and Found VR. This is another Lost and Found Fulfillment Center game with a completely different art interpretation. This is the one that I actually made with my team, but I'm not biased as it's been over a week and a half since we worked on it, and I tried the 10 best looking games on the GGJ website. I'll get to what the game is lacking in a minute, but one of the best things about this game is the art and world building. This game immerses you with moody lighting, a consistent and detailed art style, and animated and glowing objects. Also, the custom-built 10-minute soundtrack made by our audio engineer will keep your ears entertained while you're working the whole time. There are over 15 objects that we implemented in the game, and we had a pretty unique gameplay mechanic where the ghost tries to describe what they are missing so that they can move on to the next life. They say a couple of key words in a pretty cool word bubble, and there are a few correct answers that you can find dropping from chutes to your left and right. The major thing we couldn't fit into the game was an ending. It's important for games made for a game jam to have an ending. Everyone understands that gameplay will be short, but you should try to reward players with something that makes your game memorable. None of the games on my list have an ending, but I still feel like it was a con for our game. Not only does it not have an ending, but it also doesn't motivate players to give them the correct object or even to do the job quickly. We also missed out on putting some sound effects in and a couple of other bugs, but that happens in such a short amount of time, and we may update the game to include the things we missed out on. If you want to know more about the game we created, check out this video. It's a short devlog of the entire process, as well as the biggest struggles our team of 5 faced. Alright, that is the end of the list. If you want to play any of these PC VR games yourself, the links to their pages will be in the description. Just scroll to the bottom of their page or find their itch.io page. Download the executable, because the source files means the actual Unity project. Unzip it, and double click on the .exe application with your headset plugged in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.